What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett,
I'm Lance.
and this is Rants or Us. As always, guys, if you enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000, and we hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so, does the new Mortal Kombat movie deserve a sequel or even a series of movies? What do you think, Lance?
For me, absolutely. I absolutely. Yeah, I can sit here and think deeply into it and probably pick things apart, which we like to do. But overall, I thought it was an amazing movie. You know, I really enjoyed it from start to finish. Yes, like I said, there's things that kind of bothered me, but nothing to break me with this movie. Nothing enough that I'd be like, I don't even want to watch this crap, you know. So it was pretty good.
Nothing made me in this movie go and so far to say it was a great movie. But nothing at the same time. I mean, to me, it was a decent movie that I enjoyed from beginning to end. It's a movie I could rewatch and get entertainment out of.
I did. I thought it was a great movie myself.
I mean, that's me. I think I gave it like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Like, I thought it was about in that range because I was entertained from beginning to end. The only two pet peeves that I had with it was I felt like it took a long time for them to get to the beginning, too long, where that they had to do that stupid montage of fight scenes at the very end. That bothered me because I thought those fight scenes would have been really cool if it was stretched out and had a bigger part of the film. I would have actually enjoyed that a little bit more. And I mean, I guess I could say maybe add a third and say they added too many characters at first because I felt like they didn't get to really explore the characters' backstories. They were just like throwing a character in there and we get to see him for like 10 minutes. We didn't get to really get a background on anybody except Sub-Zero. And we didn't even really get that much of a background on him. Like, what was the whole point of him and Scorpion? They didn't really, yes, we know it if you watched anything when it comes to Mortal Kombat, but if you're just somebody
or played anything,
yeah, you're not going to understand.
If you played the games, you kind of know what that was about. But
why did Sub-Zero speak Chinese?
There was nothing, there was nothing that made me go, I don't think this is a great movie. Like, that's what I'm saying. I had some things that bothered me a little bit, but nothing for me to be like, this movie wasn't great. Now, I'm not saying it was the greatest movie I've ever watched. No.
It was better,
but to me, it was still a great movie.
It was better than the originals. Let's just put it that way. It was better than the original movies back in the 90s, but that's not really that high of a bar either. For me, at least.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that. I mean, those movies.
That's about as low of a bar.
And they were bad. Even back then, those were bad movies. I don't care what anybody said. But this, to me, it was a great movie. I liked the story because it was something different. Like, if they went and followed the complete story they did the first time or just copied straight from a video game, I would be like, I've already done this. I played story mode. I know what's about to happen.
Yeah,
so I did like that it was a new story. It was something different that fans didn't quite know.
Yeah. And I get that. I mean, I would kind of, I think it deserves a sequel.
I think it deserves
more a series of movies.
Yeah, at least let's do a trilogy.
Yeah, I would.
At the very least.
I mean, it all depends. Look, the only reason why I would say it deserves 4 movies instead of a trilogy, I think it deserves 4 movies, is because they didn't even get to the tournament in this one. That was, I mean, if they had got to the tournament in this one, I'd been like, a trilogy would be fine. But they need time to introduce Shao Kahn. And I feel like, they could do that maybe in the next movie.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of people that there's a lot of people that are going to have to be introduced into this. Look, you already have Melina, so therefore you pretty much have to have Baraka.
Yeah, yeah, and he wasn't anywhere in it, so yeah, you would have to do something along those lines.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I go and I nitpick, I would say things that bothered me were little things like that, and I got so excited that Cabal was in the movie, but I didn't get enough of Cabal.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree with you.
Little things like that is what got me with it, but overall, I mean, me personally, I would say I would give it a 9. I know yours is lower than mine.
Really, why would you give it? I'm curious now. Why would you give it a 9? Like
I just really enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. This has been one of the first movies in a long time that's come out that I've put on my watch list and watched it and actually been pleased at the end of it all.
Well, what would you want to see in the second one?
Definitely Shao Kahn.
I would like, you know what? I'd like to see Shao Kahn in the second one, and either like Shinnok or one of the, the newer ones in the games, or the old gods. I would like to see maybe them be like the puppet master of the whole thing, something along those lines. I would enjoy that. I'm kind of like you. I know we've talked about even off screen where we're talking about the whole Sub-Zero Scorpion plot has really been played out over the years. So I feel like at this point they don't really need to focus.
But that's to be expected too, because they are the face of the franchise.
Yeah.
I would even like to see I'm drawing a blank here. Kotal Khan in the sequels.
Yes. But see, he could be introduced in like a third one or something.
Yeah. I just mean throughout the series, this is something I would want to see. Smoke.
Well, I mean, we're at least going to get one more movie with Shang Tsung. And I kind of was hoping that they would get that over with so that they would get to like Shao Kahn in the second one. But it looks like Shang Tsung is going to be the main villain.
Another one that I absolutely, if obviously it's going to happen, but if it did not happen, I'd be absolutely disappointed, is Katana. They have to put her in here.
Yeah, I would assume they will. Probably at least in the second one.
I would even like to see Jade.
Jade. I don't want them I don't want them to put. I mean, I would. I don't know. I don't know how I feel toward it. I almost kind of feel like the characters that they introduced in this one, I wish they would expand upon the story of it a little bit more. Maybe in the second one, but they don't. To me, I don't feel like they've got to introduce a lot of new characters. I would actually like to see more backstory on the one.
Even if it's not big parts, I would like to see these characters somewhere in the series, though.
Do you still want Cole to be the main protagonist?
I don't know about that one.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't hate him, but I didn't love him at the same time.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. For me, when it comes to Cole, I think the jury's still out on that one because I liked him fairly well. And obviously, he's going to be playing a bigger role in at least the sequel because they're sending him to go get Johnny.
Yeah, I know. It looks like he's going to be the main protagonist of the series. I don't know, or a series of movies, I guess you could say. So I don't really know if I'm really like a huge fan of that. Technically, I kind of wish they maybe would have kind of stuck with the more traditional route, and kind of had it kind of go along those lines.
Yeah, and like I said, they wanted to give fans something they haven't seen before through any older movies or any older video games. This is something they want to be fresh, be something new and exciting for fans. And I think it was to an extent, but I don't think it was as exciting or excitable, however you want to word it, as they thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I don't feel like they need to include like the Revenant thing that they did in later games. I feel like that needs to be done, probably not done in later things. I'm still, like I said, I'm still kind of hesitant with Cole, as like I don't know how far you can go with Cole. I just really don't. I don't feel like he's got much upside to it.
Well, I kind of feel like they were trying to make him the new Liu Kang in a way, as far as being the main guy, and it just didn't get. I didn't get the feel for him that I did as Liu Kang as a kid. Like
I know. I feel that way too. Like I felt like he was interesting to a certain extent, but he wasn't like he wasn't to the point where I was like, oh man, this is the protagonist. Like this is what a protagonist is supposed to be. We do a lot of American Gods videos on here, and I like Shadow Moon. Don't get me wrong, I like Shadow Moon, but he's a really passive character, and he's not your
it's even like
character that's protagonist.
I know this is completely off subject, but it's kind of like even on Mayans, easy.
Yeah. Yes.
And they're just not protagonists I really put my money or my hat on.
I mean, and I agree with you 100%. Like, it's not the typical normal protagonist that you see. It's more the protagonist that hangs back in the background a little bit. Like I felt like in this movie, Kano stole the show from him. Like I felt like this was more Kano's movie than
Kano was one of the best parts of Kano was one of the best parts of this entire movie.
By far, everything that come out of that guy's mouth was interesting. I mean, everything about him was interesting.
Thought the guy they got to play Kung Lao was perfect. I thought he was a perfect Kung Lao.
Kung Lao. I would kind of. I guess I would actually agree with you on that one.
I wish there had been more of him, but he was perfect in that role.
Yeah. But, I mean, overall, the one thing that I would enjoy the most, even getting back to the sequel one, I feel like I would want to see more of a backstory on a lot of the characters that were introduced. And I'd want to see Shao Kahn be introduced as maybe a main villain or a main villain to come in Mortal Kombat. I mean that's really all I would ask out of it. And of course the tournament.
That's gonna happen. I guarantee you're gonna see Shao Kahn. I guarantee you.
If we don't get to see Shao Kahn in this time, like, okay, I'm a little bit disappointed that we're not going to get to see Goro in a tournament. Like, I kind of felt like that was a disappointment.
I still think you're gonna.
Yeah, but at that point, he was so easily defeated that I kind of felt like it kind of
and you're probably going to see his. Now I can't even think of his name. Now I can't think of her name, but you're definitely probably going to see his wife.
Who?
Goro's wife.
Oh, Goro's wife. You know what? We could see something like that. We could see. I'm not shocked if they bring back any of the characters that were killed in this one. Would not shock me a bit.
Oh, they're definitely gonna
That's just what Mortal Kombat does.
And we might at some point even get the cyborg Sub-Zero.
We could very well. I think we're gonna get. The only thing that makes me think that we're not going to get different versions of Sub-Zero is because the actor who played it actually signed on for five installments. So, like, if each thing goes good, they're playing.
But he could. Yeah, but he could still at least do even if there was a cyborg Sub-Zero, he could do the voice, or he could do the actual fighting or whatnot.
He doesn't actually, to be honest with you, he doesn't really even have to be Sub-Zero. He can take on, a different form, and somebody else can be that. So that doesn't necessarily him signing on for 5 installments don't necessarily mean he's going to be Sub-Zero. You know, he.
Well, I do think if we get more versions of Sub-Zero as Bi-Han, you will, it'll be him, obviously. Yeah.
But we don't get that really in the games. You know, what was it in the first game? We got it, and then after that, it wasn't him. Like, I mean.
Well, yeah, the newer ones, you get like 2 different versions of. Well, I'm talking about the newer games. You get like different versions of these characters. You get the Cyborg Sub-Zero, you get the Bi-Han, and so forth and so on. And so, I mean, I don't know. He's definitely going to be a part of this franchise. I mean, he's already got a contract. They're not going to pay him not to be, you know.
And I'm glad.
So they like you said, they're planning on at least 5 movies here.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm glad they signed.
So this could be a series for a while.
Yeah, I'm glad they signed him because I felt like he was one that was indisposable. Like, he's one that you needed for this. I felt like everybody else could maybe be replaced, but not him.
And I feel like they matched him up with the from the games to the movie very well, instead of like changing him a lot, and there wasn't a whole lot of that.
Now I
enjoyed that, but
you know what? In the sequel, we could get to see. It wouldn't hurt to see a little bit more of Scorpion. I would actually enjoy that a little bit.
I think that was the biggest thing with Scorpion in this movie was there just wasn't enough of him, and I see why. I get why, but I think that'll change throughout the series too. I mean, he didn't come back just for a little while, obviously.
No, I felt like the trailers teased it way too much, because they teased it, and then when you watch it and you see like the first 15 minutes of it, you're like, oh, he's gonna play a big part, and then you don't see him till the very end. Like, I mean, it was just like there's nothing about him. So I'm like, I wish they hadn't have done that. Maybe expectations were built a little too high for that specific, for him. But overall, I think that would be, just a few things that they could do for that.
But the original question of the day was, do we feel like this deserves a sequel? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we can both agree on that.
I think without a doubt in my mind. We disagree. The only thing I think you and I really disagree on is you want a little bit more characters added. I want them to kind of expand on the characters they already
I do, but I don't want them to add. That's the thing. I do, but I don't want them to add so many characters that the storyline suffers because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually agree with you on that one too. I mean, I kind of felt like it was that way on this one. But overall, I think that, and I think
it would be okay. Like if they do go down the tournament route, though, it would be okay to add a bunch of characters, even if they just get killed off in this next fight. At least we got to see them on,
Yeah, as long as they're not like big name characters, I'm cool with that. Like if there's some of the minor characters, you can do that, and that wouldn't bother me a bit. But that's just one thing that I hope that they do make some changes.
If I had to pick one thing I absolutely hated about this movie, it would probably be Reptile.
They never do him a good service. Like they never do him.
Not in the movies. In the games, he's a great character.
Yeah, he is. I mean,
but in the movies, they always turn him into some kind of weird little creature that.
He reminds me of the creatures off of the Mario Brothers movies. Like, he reminded me of that. I'm like, oh man, you could have done.
He kind of reminded me of the creatures off of Hell.
Yeah.
And he kind of reminded me of the creatures off of Hellboy.
Yes. Yeah. I mean. I feel like they could have done that a little bit better. But overall, I mean...
if you're going to have Reptile, I want the Ninja Reptile.
Yeah. But
not the
overall,
creature. You know.
yeah. But overall, I would say we both agree that it does deserve a sequel. It's been a box office hit so far. So, I mean, they really have
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
excuse now not to give it a sequel.
Not to. Yeah.
Do you think it
Now the
should
only
be?
question is how long.
Do you think the next theatrical release should just be in theaters, or do you like the HBO
No, I
Max?
think I like the HBO Max thing, and I think that's gonna be a big thing with this. I think they're gonna work out a deal with HBO Max too. Like
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
heard they were talking about it already, but I have to look into that a little bit more before I sit here and say that's what's going on.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the new norm. Unfortunately, I mean, I say
Oh yeah,
unfortunately,
I do too.
yes and no. I don't think it's going to
See,
hurt on the
I don't really
graphics and
like
all the
going
stuff
to.
that goes on.
I don't really like going to theaters. So this is
It works
coming
for
to
you.
HBO Max is great for me.
Yeah, it works for you. I know I'm kind of that way too. Like I feel like a lot of times we get a lot of nostalgia for movie theaters, but then we go up there and we're like, oh, that's the reason why that sucked. High popcorn prices, high ticket prices.
That's what I'm saying.
The
You get the
guy that's sitting
nostalgia
next to
for
me
it.
that's taking up my armchair, like all that kind of thing.
You get
All
the
the good and the
nostalgia for it
bad.
until you look at your empty wallet.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like every time you go up there, and there's
So
always teenagers that's always standing up and laughing in the front. And I'm like, I can't hear the movie. I mean, it's like some of these things just always annoyed me about seeing things in movies. But overall, guys,
so this actually does work for me. So
yeah. But overall, guys, let us know what y'all think. Let us know if y'all feel like the new Mortal Kombat movie actually deserves a sequel or even a trilogy or just few more movies to
full
it.
blown out series.
I, I,
I personally want the full 5 movies at
I,
least.
I would at least say four, simply because they didn't get to the tournament and introduce Shao Kahn. I would say at least four. If you give it any less than four, I feel like you're not doing this a service. I mean, that's my personal take on it. You say five,
I
I
want the
would
full
agree with
five.
five. I think five is a good amount of movies, but we'll just have to see.
I don't think they need to go. I don't think they need to go overboard and have like Mortal Kombat 15 or nothing. But
Oh, you don't want to go Fast and Furious?
no,
Yeah, I know. I don't want to go down that route either with it. I don't want to do that with anything, to be honest with you. But overall, guys, like I said, let us know what you think. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.